Exactly 8 blows to the head, and a brutal murder whose lifeless body was cast into a bog. History books write that ancient people had peaceful deaths, but the corpse of the Vittrup Man tells us a dark truth, far different from what has been written. A bloody club left right beside him, and a shocking reality brought to light after 5,000 years with the help of chemical traces in his teeth. He wasn't even a local. Did sacrificing a stranger please the gods more, or was it merely an act of savage revenge? Today, we listen to the true voice of this cry reaching out from the bottom of the bog. Our story begins approximately 5,200 years ago on the icy shores of Scandinavia, likely the places we call Norway or Sweden today. The Vittrup Man was very different due to a significant genetic divergence from those living in Denmark at the time. He had blue eyes and darker skin. The society he was born into had a hunter-gatherer lifestyle. His childhood was spent hunting seals and whales amidst the harsh, massive waves of the sea. How do scientists have this information about someone who lived nearly 5,000 years ago? The isotopes in his teeth whisper to us that until the age of 12, he consumed only seafood, cod, and seal meat. Back then, life was lived as one with nature, but fate had other plans for him. When the Vittrup Man reached the age of 18 or 19, he set out on a massive journey that would completely change his life. We are talking about a perilous journey in the open seas, at least 75 to 100 kilometers away from the shore. At the end of his journey, he reached the shores of Denmark. However, there was no resemblance between where he came from and this new place. The people here did not hunt. They made their living by tilling the soil. Imagine, what did he do as a stranger in this new society? Was he a mysterious merchant from the north, or had he been kidnapped as a slave? The only thing we know for sure, his lifestyle underwent a radical change. He now fed on grains produced by farmers, sheep and goat meat, and no longer consumed fish. Information obtained from DNA and tooth analysis shows that he lived the last 20 years of his life like a farmer, indicating he was fully integrated into this new society. By the time the Vittrup Man reached his 30s, he had become a part of Danish society. Perhaps he was a neighbor or a worker. In the end, that horrific conclusion took place on a dark day in 3200 BC. He was taken to a desolate corner of the bog by someone. What happened was not an accident or a struggle. He had received exactly 8 heavy blows to the head with a heavy club. His skull was shattered. His lifeless body was thrown into the muddy water along with some ceramic pottery and animal bones. As a result of all these events, why did this happen? Why would people you lived with for 20 years inflict such a savage end upon you? A sacrificial ritual? Archaeologists say that in ancient Denmark, bogs were used as a way of communicating with the gods, a gateway. Strangers, those who joined the society from the outside, were sometimes used as the most valuable sacrifices chosen. The presence of ceramics next to him also gives rise to the possibility of a ritual. A fallen slave, perhaps because of his age, he no longer had the strength to work as before, so he was presented to the gods as a gift, a simple murder, or perhaps he was just in the wrong place at the very wrong time. The Vittrup Man lay silently in the sludge for thousands of years without anyone knowing. Today, modern science has allowed us to learn what he ate, where he came from, and how he died. but we may never fully understand the deep betrayal or what his soul felt in those final seconds of his life. He was a man caught between two worlds, from the north of the hunters to the south of the farmers, and at the end of the day, as his life ended at the bottom of dark, muddy water, he remained a stranger to both worlds,